Today we're going to be doing a watch collection update. Now this particular watch has a story behind it, and I believe it's one of the most overlooked Rolexes in the collection, and that watch is the GMT Pepsi in white gold. All right, so the GMT 116719 is one of those models that I feel is just kind of been overlooked. I just feel that not a lot of people buy them. I guess because they want, I guess they want a yellow gold watch already for that price, But the thing about it is that I find it so rare and unique. I definitely like it better than the white gold sub. And now with this whole Pepsi, with the Jubilee, I don't really care much about the Jubilee, guys. I'd rather have it on a vintage model. But now with the whole up prices of the Jubilee, where they're already almost by 20 grand, I feel like it's gotten a lot of importance to that white gold GMT. Now, if you didn't know, it's discontinued in the black dial, so they're not gonna make it anymore. Then they came out with the blue dial, which was a run of pretty much 1 year. Whatever. That one, the whole forest is burning on that one because they're quote unquote going for 40,000. I don't really see it, but whatever. So which leads me to the story of this GMT. This particular GMT that I have here, this is gonna be the third time that I buy this exact watch. And it's a pretty cool story, and I'm gonna share it with you. So right off the bat, I've always kind of liked this watch. It's always been one of those watches that I've said that I want to keep for the permanent collection. And what happened was that I had a client and a really good friend of mine. This guy's really sick into watches, okay? He comes in one day and he does a trade-in with me. And he wants to trade it in because he was sacrificing several pieces for one of those 40th anniversary Nautiluses. So I took it in on trade. He had bought it brand new. His name is on the card. And he kind of needed a premium for it just because, we were trying to bridge a gap of such a large number. I couldn't really get too many people to stock it at that moment because, the whole craze hadn't really happened yet. And I took a risk and I said, you know what? I'll buy it. I'll stock it. At that moment, I wasn't really sure if I was going to keep it for the collection or perhaps maybe just flip the watch. So I took a chance on it and I bought it. What happens was that I ended up wearing the watch a bit at the store, never putting it for sale, never polishing it or nothing, right? And then I have another really good friend of mine, which is probably one of my also biggest clients, comes in and says, "What's up with that white gold Pepsi? I want it." And I said, "Man, look, I don't know yet if I really want to sell it, but he's a good guy to sell it to." So I said, "You know what? Just take the watch." We hammered out a price and we closed the deal. So the watch was gone. It went from one good client and friend to another good client and friend. He enjoyed the heck out of that watch, okay? Because he's one of those guys that really can appreciate the model. So we fast forward to not too long ago. Watch comes back again. Again, the piece has to be sacrificed and it's on the chopping block because this time, this other guy wants to make a move and go for a blue face 5980 in steel. Again, he needs a premium for it and he says, I think the watches went up a little bit. And I said, you know what? I'll more than happily take the watch back again. Second time I buy the watch, I get it back again. This time I'm wearing the watch for only 3 days and I go have lunch with a friend of mine, another friend, but this is actually a very long-term friend. He was a friend before even a client, okay? And man, he sees the watch and he goes, "I want it." I said, "Listen, it's not for sale. I think I'm gonna keep it this time, "Oh, come on, I want it. I said, "Man, it's not for sale." So he says, "Eric, sell me the watch. I want it today. And I said, look, I'm gonna give it to you at this price, but the only way that I'm gonna sell you this watch is with the contingency that you have to sell it back to me. All right? So we shook on it, we had a deal, and before I knew it, my best friend swindled me out of the watch again, the third time, you know? So I'm like, all right. Fast forward, guy enjoys the watch. This guy trades watches all the time. Then he gets it in his head, he wants to buy a Richard Mille, and once again, the watch is for sale. This moment was actually a little bit of a bad moment for me, just because, I don't know, it was just random. I was kind of like, you know, a little bit on a mission to come up with the money. And I had to think about it for a long week, and finally I decided that I was gonna have to sacrifice some pieces, which I don't even want to discuss, to tell you the truth, because I still might be able to get it back. But and I ended up buying the watch, okay? And this is gonna be now the third time that I buy this watch. And I think that it's certain that this time for real, I'm gonna keep it for the permanent collection. This time I'm not letting it go. I almost lost the watch, by the way, okay? Because this guy was like dead ass. He was determined to just liquidate all his watches for this RM55 Bubba Watson. And I almost had to liquidate it to a dealer. But I don't know, man. Sometimes when you got that gut feeling and it tells you not to sell something, I just really felt like I was gonna regret it. And it's actually been really hard to even see them. I haven't even seen those watches lately, so I like it. I think it's one of the most understated and overlooked sports models, so I'm pretty excited. I'm not gonna lie. I think long term it was a good choice. Bro, it's unpolished, complete set, has everything: box, papers, hand tags, the whole thing. The guy bought it brand new. My original client, the guy that first bought it brand new at the boutique, Chicago. Bought it in Chicago, full retail. Probably one of the last ones too. Bought it full retail, man. Unbelievable. So like pretty much now I have a Pepsi from 2001. I think that's what my year is right now. I can't really remember. The one I did not too long ago, a video on. And then now I have the white gold one, which is probably really the way to go right now. So now I got those two. And then I'm cooking up another one, another Pepsi that maybe we'll be talking about soon. That one's gonna be cool to talk about. So I get the opportunity to wear a lot of different watches, but this particular watch, believe it or not, gets almost the most attention by the watch guys. You know, they're always gonna comment something about it. They're always gonna say, hey, that's the white gold Pepsi. I mean, hard to find. So that's kind of an aspect that I kind of like. To the people that don't know, obviously it's just, you know, gonna look like no big deal, maybe just a stainless steel watch. But there's a special touch about this watch, and now that it's pretty much Pepsi season and everyone's going crazy about the Pepsis. But yeah, I'm really excited about it, and I think that this is one that I'm gonna keep for a long time, because I just feel that any of the other watches that can be sacrificed can be replaced easier in today's market. Another Pepsi that I'm looking for is I'm trying to find a 1967 GMT Pepsi to match the year of my Chevelle. You know, you get old, you start coming up with stupid ideas, but I think that would be pretty cool if I can actually get a 1967, because I don't know, I already had the 1982 birth sub, I already have the Pepsi and the Coke on the 90s version, 90s 2000s version, and then it'd be a nice touch just to get a really old one, man. Like a 1967 would be ideal. So don't be surprised if I get one soon. So this watch collecting thing is always, like I've said, a journey. And the last thing that I expected was that I was gonna have this whole journey with this particular watch. And that's what kind of makes it special, and why I said it's time to sacrifice and keep it. So feel free to comment below how you feel about this white gold Pepsi. And also don't forget to hit the notifications bell till it looks like this, or otherwise you might be missing the episodes. And if you like this video, please like and share. Also, subscribe to our channel. My name is Eric, this is Watch Your Style.